Story 1. Take care of myself. How do you guys manage to clean your house, cook meals, go shopping, do laundry, get enough sleep, take care of pets if you have any, maintain relationships, make doctor appointments, and other stuff like that, all on top of the 40+ hours a week that you work? I'm lucky if I remember to eat. Story 2. Function as a normal member of society. Some people make it look so easy. Getting up each day, washed, dressed, going out to work, running errands, socializing, coming home and cooking a meal, spending time with family, housework, getting ready for bed, sleep, repeat. It's a big achievement if I get more than one of those things done in a day. Story 3. I don't understand how people can harass other people and ruin people's lives with such a straight face. Do they not have the ability to empathize? I can't even be intentionally rude to other people because it makes me feel bad to the point that I feel sorry for them. Story 4. Executive function. I've always struggled to bring myself to get up and do something. Unless it's due in 10 minutes, I don't have the mental and physical energy to go, all right, let's do this. Attention deficit hyperactivity disorder medications help, but only to a certain extent. Story 5. Put up with stupid people at work. Everyone works with people they do not like. Some find it easier to tolerate than others. I wish I had that kind of patience and tolerance. Story 6. Be content. I have a ridiculous drive and never seem to be content. Always driving harder, digging deeper. I have a high income, a nice house, a beautiful wife, and several nice things that anyone would be content with just one of. And it's not enough. I kind of hate it. I envy those with contentment in their lives. Story 7. My pinky and ring finger refuse to go together. I'll literally hold them together, and as soon as I let go, they separate. It's weird. Story 8. Make new friends. Carry a conversation with people I just met. Be judged by my character rather than my appearance, kind of a rock or gothic look most of the time, but a total softie with a huge heart. Story 9. Balance, motor skills, and coordination. I have apraxia, so I have never had good motor skills and all of that. I never learned to ride a bike because I just could not. I would try and try, but I just cannot. The same goes with skating or any other ability that requires good balance. I even grew up walking really weird, so now the way I walk is strange. Story 10. Take naps. I just cannot. It's impossible. I can shut my phone off, take a shower, grab a cup of tea. It doesn't matter. I will lie there for hours until I give up. If it's not my normal bedtime, I don't even try anymore. Story 11. Freaking standing. I don't know how people do it. I can run, jump, not swim, and work out, but ask me to stand for an 8-hour shift and I'm whining like a dog locked out of the kitchen. Story 12. Be fake and two-faced. I'm someone who is genuine, but how some people have such delusions about themselves is wow. It's an art to lie to yourself like that. I feel like an idiot sometimes, but maybe my confidence is low because I had a difficult childhood and felt unwanted. I don't have that much confidence about myself. I wish I could. You kind of need to lie a bit to look confident. I am almost incapable of that. That makes me a bit jealous, but it's not always good. You will not be aware if you do something wrong and hurt the ones you love. Story 13. I get anxiety, not severe, and get uncomfortable with the stupidest things. Change in particular, like wearing clothes outside my present style or breaking my normal schedule. Oh, a canceled class? Nice. Wait, you guys want to go downtown? Will we have time? What if the class isn't actually canceled? I don't know, just getting uncomfortable with stupid stuff. Story 14. Being a handyman. I can do the bare minimum basics like a quick fix of a water leak in the kitchen, but I'm not handy enough to do major renovations and construction. Story 15. Navigating. It takes me 6 months to learn the route to a new job, and then they close the main road for construction. I have to learn a whole new route. By the time the road is reopened, I've forgotten the first route. Story 16. Taking more than 3 classes a week in college. Sometimes I'm not even able to do that. I've got a lot of stuff to deal with that I guess most of my classmates don't. But still, Story 17. Touch my pinky finger with the thumb of the same hand. some sort of conjoined tendon in my upper forearm. Anyone else out there special like me? Story 18. Having positive energy all the time. I do my best to keep my vibe chill, but there are also times when negative thoughts creep up on me. However, I am consciously trying to be grateful for the good things in my life every day. Still, I do have to salute the people who seem to do it effortlessly. Story 19. Walk longer than a mile or stand for long periods of time. At least, not without significant pain for the next several days. Messed up my feet a few years ago and did permanent damage, which is only partially mitigated by surgery, physical therapy, and good footwear. Took a long time to come to terms with since I used to be an avid hiker. Story 20. Sing in tune, play music by ear, and have a beat. My passion is music, and I actually played in a band on and off for 20 years and can do none of those. The only way I pulled it off was to do it like a machine would. I had to memorize every single note and count in my head the whole time. Story 21. Take classes or trainings. I am a horrible student and cannot focus on what someone is teaching me for more than 10 seconds. I will go to a multi-day training seminar and leave having learned nothing. Story 22. Use affect and effect properly. I always tested well in school and have had a pretty solid career path, but for some reason I just cannot understand when to use them correctly. Story 23. I just can't do it. It's not part of my personality. I can't even try because it sounds and feels so unnatural for me. But for others, it's like a daily thing. Story 24. Talk to women without any intentions of wanting sexual relations. I just freeze and don't know how to break the ice and then continue the conversation. Story 25. Whistling and clicking my fingers. I have been shown how to click my fingers dozens of times, and I've even had people position my fingers like I was a doll and get me to click, but it just doesn't work out for me. And my inability to whistle caused my family to nearly break apart. Story 26. I know this will sound ridiculous and stupid, but I can't, for the life of me, use a screwdriver well. It's a struggle. Yes, I should have no problem, but I don't know why. Story 27. Know how much to talk. Even when I make a consistent effort to speak less, I'm still gently teased that I tend to talk a lot and dominate conversations. I still don't understand how it's possible, but I hear it from everyone, so it must be true. No amount of self-help books, medication, or mindfulness seems to make any difference. Example. This response is the result of editing out over half of what I had originally written. Story 28. Get into relationships. I've never been in one, and I can't, for the life of me, understand how many people seemingly easily manage to meet someone who also likes them back. Truly baffles me. Story 29. Finish things they start. Got a piano and started practicing. Made it a goal to learn one song by the end of the year and gave up. Same with learning Italian, although I made it farther. I stopped that because I got a cancer diagnosis and couldn't focus. Story 30. Coherent conversation with pretty women. Others. A beautiful day out today. Not sure how many of these we will have left before winter sets in. Me hot, then cold. Story 31. Smile all the time. I'm always having to remind myself, because if I don't, I look like I'm mad most of the time. This has unknowingly kept a few doors closed for me. Story 32. Belch. I have never audibly belched in my whole life and have only occasionally and accidentally burped with my mouth closed. Turns out there's a medical condition for that, which I can never remember the name of, but it really sucks to drink anything carbonated. Story 33. Clean house. I've got the squirrel brain sickness and the procrastination oopsies. I try so hard to keep things up, but I get a tiny bit behind, then the overwhelm starts and it's all downhill. Story 34. I am autistic, so anything that's really minor and doesn't matter that much, but I just can't figure it out for some reason. I struggle to put the twisty bread ties back on properly somehow. I cannot tie my shoes the usual way. I have an alternate method taught to me by a therapist at age 13. Just little things like that. Story 35. Lifetime sufferer of attention deficit hyperactivity disorder and on the spectrum. When off medication, I have problems with short-term memory and focusing while reading. It's so bad that I sometimes can't finish one paragraph without my mind wandering off, while my eyes still scan the text. By the time I realize it and stop myself, I've gone through multiple pages and have to go back to repeat. Don't think of the pink elephant type stuff. Best case scenario, I still retain information, but it takes me much longer than the average person to read. On the flip side, if I'm listening to an audiobook or lecture, I could be driving, cooking, mowing the lawn, or doing almost anything with my hands and still remember every part of the story as well as what I was doing specifically when I heard it. When I was a kid, I often got called out in school for drawing and not paying attention in class, yet still remembered lecture topics when asked. But if I focus on focusing, then it's a lost cause. Lots of the special education programs tried really hard to get kids to do just that. I now work in the adult learning field and find this phenomenon really fascinating. I think there's something of value here. Memory palaces, for example, are a topic I feel is related to this, and should I ever pursue a graduate degree, it's probably what I'll study. Story 36. A540 spin, hook kick, taekwondo. It seems easy for others to jump over their other leg. But for me, my leg never seems to go over. In addition, I cannot land with my kicking leg. Do I just need more drills for the jumps and strengthening? Someone please break it down easily for me. Story 37. Remembering anything short-term is challenging. My wife remembers everything, while I'm over here trying to remember which street to turn on when I literally just looked at the directions. I go to the grocery store for one thing and have to call her to remind me why I'm there. Adult attention deficit hyperactivity disorder is a thing. Story 38. Speak Chinese, Mandarin, or Cantonese, or any of the other languages apart from the two I can speak for that matter. Story 39. I can tie my shoes, but I'm pretty sure I learned a slow, dumb way to do it originally because it takes me longer, and my shoes are more likely to come untied. Story 40. Stay awake even when you want to sleep. For me, it's quite literally the opposite. I'm starting to consider it a curse at this point. My friends always say that they're jealous of how fast I can fall asleep and stay asleep. I don't even want to sleep. I have to make a conscious effort not to sleep. Story 41. Have children. And that, folks, is the most insidious thing about infertility. The irrational feelings of jealousy and failure because most people just have kids without a second thought. Story 42. Remembering maps for video games. I struggle with remembering callouts. For some reason, my brain will not remember a lot of things regarding map layouts unless I physically sit down and study them. Rainbow Six is a prime example. I still made it to platinum with sheer gunplay, so there's that. Story 43. Have romantic relationships. Not saying it's easy for others. Clearly, it's among the most challenging things most people do. But at 42, I'm definitely starting to fall into a smaller and smaller minority in never having been able to have one. That is, of course, entirely on me for not putting myself out there. But this is also due to fear, trauma, family enmeshment, insecure attachment style, and more. Not a pity party or poor me response. My life is blessed and lucky, but it does play a large role in my lifelong struggles with depression, never having deeper, meaningful connections with many people. Story 44. Mental math. Simple calculations. Math in general. I dropped out of college because I could not pass accounting and just gave up. I took remedial math 3 times, and the last time she passed me because she felt bad for me. I took the math end of course standardized test when I was in high school 5 times. My math teacher, whom I love dearly, helped me with 2 questions. I passed by 2 questions. I was able to graduate high school because of that sweet lady. I have always excelled in reading. My mom now suspects I have a learning disability in math. It would have been helpful to be diagnosed years ago so I could have received the help I needed. I have considered getting tested so I can finish my college degree. Story 45. Go to bed, lie down, and instantly sleep. My partner is an absolute unicorn for me. She lies down next to me, and I have to hurry to get my goodnight kiss, or she's already knocked out. I, on the other hand, need at least 30 minutes before I can even think about getting sleepy, and most of the time it takes 1 to 3 hours before my brain shuts down. Story 46. Snap fingers. I'm 34, I've tried video tutorials and having my wife walk me through it, Nothing. My fingers are like those flip-open lighters that never light. They do the motion, but there's no spark. Story 47. Live by the rules. I don't mean legal, but finish school, get a job, get into a relationship, marriage, kids, etc. All the typical milestones. I'm doing fine, but I can't do any of that traditional stuff in any shape or form. I couldn't even as a kid be normal. Story 48. Shower fast. If I am too tired, I will zone out. If I am too stressed out, I will zone out. If I set up systems to not zone out, my anxiety will act up because the zoning out was necessary. Also, eat fast. I can spend the entire day just having breakfast and lunch, and it will still be less food than the average person. Actually, how are people so fast? Story 49. Sit still and do nothing. I just can't. I take knitting, sewing, or a book with me all the time just in case I have to sit and wait somewhere. I have attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, and if I don't have something to do, I tend to just get up and leave. I can't even watch television without something for my hands to do. Also, television with commercials. It's constantly something else, and my brain goes, something else. And I've wandered off and started something else. I could really want to see it, and it doesn't matter. Off I go. Story 50. Living life. Doing what you want or need to do. Taking a bowel movement or passing gas without pain. Chronic pain is difficult. I broke the base of my tailbone and I'm on no pain medication. I have had constant constipation because it's so painful passing anything where my tailbone is. I'm so angry at the moment. I want to break things and reach through my colon and pull back my tailbone. I have to manually remove my stool anyways. I'm very frustrated with this situation.